Money in the Bank is coming up. Shawty, what you think? Anyway, look, we got 5 matches. Yeah, I counted right. It is going to probably also look a hell of a lot more just because of the 2 main matches we got. But let's get into them. I was like, cause I think this is a really good card. I was like, I don't think there's the predictability that we sort of have seen in a lot of some of the other cards, and we're gonna get good matches regardless. So hey, anyway, let's go with Sami Zayn, Bron Breakker, because this might be the easiest of figuring out the outcomes. Now, I think Sami Zayn's gonna win. I would love if Bron Breakker just breaks the hell out of Braun here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're going to find some way for this to not happen for some reason. But then again, I was like, well, Ludwig Kaiser's out, and that's what makes it difficult. Because I think if he was still here, I think he would have interrupted Bron Breakker's match, or they would have probably tried to like triple threat it or something like that. Just because I was like, but Sheamus was also in the Money Bank qualifying match, and he also has something to say with this as well too. So that's why I'm saying like I could see this being some type of interference in a way that leads to a DQ, but because Bron Breakker just starts on like rattling or whatever, somebody calls him a match. Just because I think they're going to still, while it would be good to have put on Braun, he's at the top. I think right now they still want him to just sort of just run through people as of right now, and I think that's why Sami is going to basically pull off this win. Let me go ahead and see if I need to put on that light. I don't know. Hold on, give me a minute. It's a little better. There we go. Anyway, so I think that's how that one's gonna go. Let's go with another one. I think it's a little also easier to do. Is the Bloodline versus RKO Cody, or however that name's gonna be. It's gonna be 3-on-3, 4, type of match. I was like, I think they should get Bloodline to win. I think that you want to go ahead and just, after they did what they did to Paul Heyman, it's like they got a little bit more momentum now. Because I was like, they got momentum, but they sort of still just like dragging a little bit. But I think now after that being such a like real moment that, hey, go and capitalize on them, have them win. And I really think that too, that Cody should technically get pinned here. I was like, I know the rumors are him and Solo at SummerSlam. So it's like, if you give Solo the win here, with Solo probably going to get the victory, I think, in general, just because it'll make him look good, and also the way he sort of he's going to use the team to get himself over. And also, I don't think they will give Jacob Fatu his first loss night neither. So I think that's how that's really going to go here. I think that's the best way to do it, because I was like, look, that's how I can really lose, and it adds more attention to the whole thing. Now, a crazy qualifier to me is that I think everybody's like, will a return happen? Roman's not showing up. Rock not showing up. But I think for a sneaky win for Cody's team, if they do it, and it's the only way I think it would work, if Jimmy shows back up and he basically costs the new Bloodline basically the match. That's the only way that you could basically give them a loss without it looking too much in a way, and give Cody give him the win without it seeming like, of course, they like won. They doing like some super babyface type of thing. I was like, that's the only way that will work. And the way you do that is Jimmy shows up, like how all the Bloodline interferences show up. That way, everybody thinks like, oh my God, the Bloodline got another person. Except for boom, he super kicks him, and it's like, oh no, it's not, that kind of thing. Anyway, just my fantasy booking. Alright, so next up we have, I'm gonna do the women's Money in the Bank. Now you got Zoe, you got Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, I was like, you got Naomi, Tiffany, and you got Chelsea Green. I was like, let's take Zoe out. She's not winning it. After that, I think there's a compelling argument you can make for just about all of them. Next one, I would probably say that's not going to get it. Would probably be Naomi. I was like, her with her aesthetic with the Money in the Bank would be great, but that's not why she's going to win here. I was like, then we have, I was like, I was like, I can see Io, but damage control is sort of in a mess right now. And so that's why I think her and I think Lyra will end up canceling each other out just because of that, because they've been sort of beefing or whatever. And I was like, I don't see Lyra getting that opportunity. Plus, she has sort of got herself up to where I don't think she would even really need the briefcase. But brings us to Chelsea and Tiffany, who both I think got good reasons for it because of the way that they are healed. I think it fits Chelsea's character of her being an opportunist better than Tiffany, because Tiffany doesn't need the opportunity. She pretty much can be, she's got enough talent, she's going to be in that spot. Now, I don't think she would, but they both have the creativity of being either or of Money in the Bank. Tiffany time Money in the Bank, which I was like, I think she alluded to being like doing Barbie, and Chelsea doing Money in the Bank. You know, she's gonna do something glamorous for that. So I can see both of those, and it seems like I'm over here riding the fence. I think it should go to Chelsea. I think Tiffany's gonna win it. I say the reason I say Chelsea because I was like, because of her being an opportunist and not necessarily being around the main title picture. I was like, not that she couldn't be thrown in there, but I was like, she's not seen at the same level per se as Tiffany. So I think it fits her more of her getting almost like a little bit like how Carmella first thing was when she first won it, where it was like you couldn't really see her there, but you've seen her at like she could totally come in like how she did. I think that's how it would be. Like Bayley and Nia fight at SummerSlam. Nia destroyed Bayley, but Bayley gets the win. Chelsea comes in. So they also been beefing, that kind of thing. The men's one, look, LA Knight's not winning, but we got Drew, Jay, Chad, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. LA Knight not winning. I think his momentum is not there anymore for that. I mean, I think people will still be on top of it, but I was like, him trying to catch it in for Logan Paul, then just go ahead and do that storyline. We don't need that part. Carmelo Hayes, I just don't think they just gonna put it on him yet, but him already being here is already a good look. I was like, the main top ones is Jay and Drew. I was like, I think Chad could get it just because I could see a storyline where they could do something with him and the Wyatt Six and him having the Money in the Bank the whole time. The whole time with like him trying to cash in, but he can't because the lights always go out. They always popping up and messing him up, and he got to really reconcile with how he been treating people and stuff like that. And then the day that he's gonna have to like do some straight up stuff in order, like, you know, like I challenge you, say on Survivor Series, in order to do this kind of thing. But by then he had sort of healed in order to have the right way to do it. Long shot, fancy booking there. Jay and Drew write themselves. Jay, just because I think he's the only one that we could see as an opportunist babyface that nobody would mind. I think he doesn't have to. His character, he doesn't have to say straight up that I need to fight you this day. I think people would be down with him coming in and just getting the belt. I think he'd be fine in that situation. Drew, I was like the whole story of him getting cashed in and stuff like that, and especially if you keep Damien with the title, or if Seth wins the title, you never know. I don't think CM Punk's going to come in and cost him here. I think that's a little bit. They could convolute it up. My sneaky pick is Andrade. Not because his character is particularly anything right now or fanfare for him, but in the same way Damien Priest. Think about Damien Priest, how we thought of him, especially at that time. He was okay. He's a good wrestler. He's here, all this other stuff. And they were sort of waiting and all that other stuff. Now, granted, he had a storyline a little bit more with Judgment Day, but at the same time, they was on the rocks as well, too. And guess what? Now he gets the title. I was like, now he gets the Money in the Bank. He eventually gets the title, but I was like, his team gets more prominent. They make more storylines and confusingness out of it, even though people didn't like it at times, especially leading up until he finally did, and even now. But guess what? Now Damien Priest is in the spot where no matter what, he can always be thrown in a main event title match. And if he gets the title, you're also not crazy shocked either. And I was like, also with the way that the creative is, that it won't blow your mind. I mean, it won't bummer you out necessarily. That's how I felt about Andrade. Sort of waiting. We know he's a good wrestler. He's sort of like here and there, but him having Money in the Bank, automatically sort of propels him into a spot. I don't think he's the same thing like the Austin Theory with it. So I think him actually having, now he's in all the main title stuff, whether he wants to be involved with the Cody Bloodline stuff, whether he wants to be with Judgment Day, who already got a little bit of beef with stuff, and or whether it's Seth or whether it's Gunther, whoever it is, he's automatically in there. We know he can at least go. So I was like, I know the talking point can be sometime a thing or whatever like that too, but he just need to show up and always attempt that he could do stuff. He could get involved with Solo trying to get Cody. Like you can make your own thing out of it in that type of way. Last but not least, main event: Damien Priest, Seth Rollins. I would have said Damien Priest winning, no doubt, to solidify him as a top champion against Seth Rollins. Now I don't know. Because now I'm like, if Drew win the championship, he can come in, cash in during this time if he wants to. I was like, how did the Judgment Day come in? Finn accidentally cost Damon his championship on accident by trying to interfere? Liv shows up in order to like show Damon that she's on his good side and like mess up Seth in that type of way. I was like, there's so many ways that this can really go for all intents and purposes. And I was like, and that stipulation really changes a lot. I'm gonna say Damien Priest does win, but the Judgment Day does so many things that almost have him lose, that he really sort of overcame his team. And I think that's what Seth would be like, oh man, you deserve to win the way that your team was playing defense against you. But yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. I was like, you could go any which way with any of these routes, and I don't think there's really too many bad options. But hey, that's on my Money in the Bank. Shawty, what you think? I got money in the bank. Anyway, those are mine. Of course, that's why you're here. So until next time, peace. I'm out.